Hey, so I'm making this video very early in the morning. I'm gonna put it up early so that I don't have to worry about it today. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what I'm doing. My life is so chaotic and hectic that I have no clue what I'm doing. But I do know that I need to do something. We're heading on to about a year since I've graduated. And, I've been so back and forth with this LA thing and so back and forth with everything that I've been planning. I would put up a long term goal and I'll just like straight up back off of it. Like I'll tell you basically what happened. So from the beginning, it started summer of this year. Towards the end of the summer though, I started getting these thoughts of I need to get out of here. So the summer of last year, towards the end of the summer last year, I was like, I need to like build up towards a goal. I was feeling bad because I didn't have a job and my parents were basically paying for my. I still live with my parents. Just so you know, that's how. I mean, you know how people sometimes they stay with their parents for until they're like 30. To be honest, I feel like I'm ripping money from their pockets by living with them now. So, I don't want them to think that I'm just like mooching off of them or anything. So, I was like, I need to get a job. I need to do something with my life. So I get my old job back because I really want to go through that whole job search again. That was the worst part about getting a job is like trying to, and I unsuccessfully got one. I felt really upset with myself because I had an interview and everything and they just didn't accept me and it was sad. So I just took my old job and I started working and I said I'm going to push myself towards a goal and I'm going to push myself towards leaving Massachusetts in about a year or so. I didn't tell anybody about it until like a few months ago when I told my best friend who currently lives in Ohio about it, and he was all in for it, and I started really getting into it, and then he's like, dude, calm down. We have 8 months. You just calm down. I'm like, I really want to move in. I really want to move there. And he's like, you need to calm down. And then I basically ran out of steam. I looked at it and I said, this is almost impossible. I don't think we're going to be able to do it. And I just fell out of love with the idea. The romanticism was gone and moving. So I'm like, okay. I started talking to him like, we should move somewhere else. So we started going through a bunch of different places. He wanted me to move to Ohio. I really don't want to move to Ohio. Sorry about all you people that live in Ohio and really like it there. I just really want to get out of the north. So I'm like, there's people walking. I don't want to be too loud. But I'm like, I want to move south. So we came up with, because my grandfather lives very southernmost part of Texas. We're like, why don't we move there? We could be so cool. We could mess around with an old house that's there that he owns, and we could like fix it up, and then we could both live there. So we started talking to my grandfather about it, and he's like, yeah, that'd be fine. And then my parents sort of basically convinced me not to do it. And I was like, man. So I fell out of love with LA. And then I fell out of love. It wasn't LA, it was a place called Ridgecrest in California. And I fell out of love with Texas. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to LA. I have to go to LA. And I start looking at different places in Glendale. I'm telling him about this. He's like, it's way too expensive, man. It's way too expensive. He's trying to coerce me out of it again. I was like, I can't not. So I start looking at all these places. And then I decide, you know what? No, and then my father pulls me aside because at this point, both my parents know that I'm trying to move out of state. They're like, listen, you need to think about this. You need to get a plan set up, you know. And I was coming up with a plan, you know, many a month before. He's like, you can't just jump into it. You can't just move into a different state. You need to visit there first, at least. So I'm like convincing myself I need to visit there first. The more and more I realize that would be $1,800 just to stay there for like a week. And, you know, my friend decided I'm not going down there to visit. That's way too much money. He's like, I'll move down with you, but I'm not going to like visit there. He's probably watching this right now. Hey, how you doing, Aaron? So I'm like, oh, well, no, I can't do that. And I saved up a lot of money, so I'm like, I should get a car. I don't think that's gonna happen either. I've been looking up at cars and all that and everything, and I'm just like, I don't really know. First off, if I move, I want to take a plane because I really like planes. Like, one of my favorite memories as a child growing up was when I went to move to Texas for 8 months. Back in that same place where I was talking about earlier. And I just absolutely adored the plane flight. It was the best experience I've ever had. I know people are like scared of heights and stuff. In there, it was like I was a bird, and it was so cool. You know, getting a window seat during the plane ride, I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome. You know, that's just the thing. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to get a car now, especially a broken down car. I'd have to drive like 41 hours just to get to California. Like, that would be hard, you know? So I was like, what if I just don't go? And I had this whole thing about, because my parents' place, basically how it's set up, this is an apartment building. I'm currently in one side of the apartment building. There was another side, right behind me, actually. It's like 2 walls back this way. And it's basically the same thing as this apartment, but it's mirrored. And that other side isn't set up. It's not like livable. They don't have like water. The plumbing's not all set up and anything. So I'm like, I could use the money to help out, fix up the place next door, and then I can live next door. And then I'll do YouTube from there, and I'll get a better paying job. And then my father said that he didn't really want to fix it up. And, you know, I love this house. I've been in this house since the beginning of YouTube. So I think it's about 5.5 years ago that we moved in here. 5 years ago that I started this channel. But, you know, I have so many fond memories of this house. I really don't want to see it go. But, you know, I don't have any deciding. I can't really decide that. That's their choice. They want to do that, they want to do that. So, here I am. This just happened. And my thought process is, this is my final chance. I am slowly but steadily losing every hope and dream that I have of moving out of state to do something for YouTube, you know? And, I mean, the only other way that I could think of is to put myself majorly in debt to go to an art school that's going to teach me how to act or teach me how to edit, whatever. It doesn't matter. And, you know, I'd hate to say this because I'm sure my parents will severely disagree with me. I don't like the education system. I really, really hate how they're trying to force me to pay a big old college money just for the privilege of getting a piece of paper for something that I've learned on my own for the past 5 years. You know, all of the skills that I have, I mean, you can't really see it now. I really haven't been pushed to do so, to show off how much I've actually learned in the editing process. But, like, I have a few videos that I actually really like that I would probably say really sums up what I want to be as an editor. But, like, I didn't do that with any fancy, schmancy art degree, no. Like, I learned this on my own. Literally, I bought the Creative Cloud and I just started using Premiere. So, you know, I feel like just paying thousands of dollars to learn the things that I've already learned, it's pointless to me. It's pointless. So my whole idea is I gotta search and do something that I never really wanted to do, and that's to start focusing on other people's channels first. And I think I'm gonna have to do the super mega. It's not like I don't want to do it. First off, it's always great to make connections in LA, you know. It's just, you know, I want to work on my own stuff, but at the same time, I really need to pay bills, and I guess I'm just hoping that something will happen. I've been looking all night, literally all night, for about 4 or 5 hours now. Online, all over the place, just looking to see if I could find anybody looking for a gaming video editor or just a YouTube video editor that isn't like a gigantic corporation that requires me to have like 10, 11 years of experience in the business. You know, I want to do stuff on YouTube. I want to make memories, you know? And if that has to start with me just being an editor, just like Super Mega, just like Barry was in Game Grumps, I'm willing to do that. You know, it's just sort of building up my resume, I guess. So I put up a thing on Reddit after everything else failed. I'm just asking people on there for jobs. Man, it's so weird now that I'm saying it. But, like, I've looked on Craigslist. I've looked all over the fucking internet on those stupid job sites. You know, Indeed or Glassdoor. All these different sites. And it's always, like, the same few jobs. It's like Google... Fine Brothers, and Google covers half of the page, by the way. Google covers half of that page. Google, Fine Brothers, a few companies that are like super, like they're big in size. What could I compare it to? Probably more like a Watch Mojo, you know, like something that oversees just a bunch of, no, not like BuzzFeed, something that oversees people who make a lot of content for them. So I see a bunch of that, and so on and so forth, and I look at that, I'm like, that's not the type of content that I want to do. I don't want to do super over corporate stuff. And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't accept me anyway because they're looking for the best of the best, you know? They're looking for editors that can do it all. And frankly, again, I've used Adobe Premiere for like 2 years now. And like that's not that's not enough time for them apparently. And I'm pretty sure I couldn't do half of the stuff that they wanted me to do. I take this as learning experiences as well as that, you know? I'm trying to be Barry from Game Grumps. Literally be Barry from Game Grumps. Somebody who's just trying to force himself to learn something new. And hopefully it works. Hopefully it sticks. That's what I'm hoping. I'm sorry it's a super long video. I just, you know, I just really want this to work out. Hopefully this will. And by the time I make another video, I'll be talking about some offer maybe one person offers me, you know? If you are a YouTube creator, you want to, or you live in LA, or you're going to move to LA soon, and you need an editor, and you're able to pay, if you're able to, literally all I need is enough to cover my basic expenses, stuff like just an apartment and all that. So like just minimum wage should probably do me, really. Just grab a crummy apartment. I mean, just hit me up. There should be an email on my channel page. Hopefully they still have that. I don't know if they took that out or whatever. But yeah, just hit me up, send me an email, and I'll get back to you. Aaron, I'm looking at you. We're still going. It's just, I don't know when it's going to happen. I just don't know. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Sorry about the shaking. See you guys next time.